you want to submit it to the wrong body.
Okay. Don't you?
Go ahead, you want to submit it to us?
Yeah, I'd like
Okay,
to
all
submit
right,
it
then
to you.
submit it to us.
Give it to the planning commission.
We'll give it to the planning commission.
Okay, that's what I would do.
Okay.
Point of order. Could he give it to the representative that's here for the planning?
Excuse me,
commission?
please, if you
No.
want to speak, I'm going to call after I get
No,
through
he
this.
he can't give it to representatives. You have to attend the planning commission meeting and indicate to them your position. That's
We
how
will
this
receive it
is
then.
set up.
We will receive
There's no point of order from the floor.
No, I agree.
There's, and
It's okay, we're referring to Mr. Greco, and then we'll go off our list, and I'll call for anyone
Mr.
else.
Greco, I
in
think
public who
what
wishes
they're
to.
trying to tell you is, it's not that we can't take it. The right way to do it is to give it to the planning commission. I know it sounds a little crazy, and they're going to look at it, and they're going to end up giving it to us.
And they're going to give it to us, and even if you want to make sure they do, you can, but that's where you go first.
We will receive it.
There's a lot of people that worked really hard for this.
No,
I know
sure.
that. and I-
Okay. A lot of people upset about it, too.
I believe
And
that.
you know what I can't understand is you came out with a new covenants this year, I believe. And first thing off the bat, they want to grant waivers,
No
or
one,
possibly.
no one has said that there's going to be a waiver granted here. You know,
We're going to take this off our agenda. We're not going to even, we're sending it back there. We won't be addressing it. We're not doing anything right now.
Right.
Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely.
We're doing nothing. It's on there.
Give it to the
when
planning
it
commission,
comes
they'll get it back to
in
us.
When it comes in our list, it's going to be taken off our agenda. Tuesday's meeting, we will not be addressing anything.
Okay, so what you're saying is the only thing we can do is give it to the planning
That
commission.
the proper steps is it should be done and dealt with, and a decision should be rendered by the planning commission, and then it comes to us. They did not render a decision.
And then we'll see the petitions.
Planning commission's a recommending body. They're going to recommend to us what we think we should do.
They should have never tabled it, is what it amounts to.
They put the cart before the horse.
That's exactly what they did.
They
They put the
shouldn't
cart
be
in
here.
front of the horse. That should not be here. They should have done it. They just didn't do what they were supposed to do, if I'm understanding Mr. Diceborough.
Yeah, it's not hard.
I mean, 323 homeowners is quite a few,
I agree, 100%.
so.
You don't trust the planning commission to get it to us?
I would think you better pay attention to it. Thank you.
It's being paid attention to.
Thank you. Carolyn Ramsey.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Carolyn Ramsey. I am here as a mother, a wife, and a very concerned citizen. My statement, I'm going to direct to Mr. Jim Johns. Mr. Johns, some very disturbing information has been brought to me. It came to my family by way of the local small town rumor mill, if you will, that anytime you reference my husband, Clarence, or my son, Corey, that you refer to them as that black man or that black maintenance worker. I just want you to know, this is just FYI, that from an African-American perspective, anytime you refer to a person by their color of their skin as opposed to their given name, that reeks of racism. Number one. My second statement, it's not a statement, it's a question. Can you tell me what my son has done to you to be on your radar?
I'll answer you the best I can. If I made a statement like that, I certainly don't, it was not done intentionally, and I mean that. Mr. Duncan has been anywhere I've ever had anything to say about anything, and your son is by no stretch of the imagination under any radar from me, and I mean that from my heart. I've gone to Miss McKinney, I've sat in her office, I've told her the rumor mills around here are enough to drive you crazy. That's just one of many, Mrs. Ramsey. You can take that to the bank. I've heard about your son, I've heard about the assistant. I've heard a lot of, that's not, where it goes. Rumors are ridiculous. I didn't, and I do not have a clue. I don't even know maybe once.
Well, I'm sure, Mr. Johns, that you know rumors can get out of control. That rumors can get out of control.
And I certainly agree with that. I made the statement yesterday. Today is my 4th month. I'm ready to have a nervous breakdown. And I mean that from my heart. I have, you don't even, I'm a good guy.
Well, you can imagine how I felt.
And I certainly, if I said something to you or about you, I would apologize. I would never do anything. Certainly not.
Well, I would
I'm very
certainly
sincere with that.
accept an apology, but these things have come to us, and me, as a concerned citizen, felt that it needed to be brought
And I
out in
agree.
public.
I agree.
Okay, thank you
I
very
mean,
much.
And I have nothing against this. Now, please make sure you're aware. My goodness, I do not. I know him by name.
And see, that's the exact same thing about you. It was like, who is this Mr. Johns?
Thank you.
We're hearing all this stuff. So thanks for letting me discuss it with you at a public forum.
Thank you.
Diane, we're having a little bit of an audio problem here. Can we just take a couple minutes here till we can see if we can fix it?
Recess?
I can't really hear you right now.
Recess?
Okay, yes, can we take a recess just for a couple seconds? I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Recess. 5-minute recess.
Could you sign in?
Say it again.
What channel? Yeah, we're.
This is right.
One, two, three, four, five. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'd like to resume the meeting. Hopefully our audio is working. We've got the okay that it is. I'm going to continue with our Citizens Night of the people that signed in. Mr. Rich LaPiccolo. Thank you for your patience.
Rich LaPiccolo, Rosecrest Drive. The greater Monroeville community finds itself in a unique situation, one that in my nearly 30 years being a part of that community, I cannot remember seeing. Can't remember this happening or this situation existing before. The municipality of Monroeville and Gateway School District, and therefore Pitcairn, not as a borough but as a part of the Gateway School District, both find themselves without a chief administrative officer or chief executive. I can't remember when we didn't have a permanent sitting municipal manager or a permanent superintendent at Gateway School District. This is not to say that the folks who are filling in on an interim basis, one of the assistant superintendents at Gateway, whose name escapes me, or Mrs. McKinney, who's doing a fine job. And I think with Mrs. McKinney, we have a tip of the iceberg situation. All the citizens of Monroeville, except those who frequent here, can see, as far as her performance is concerned, is what they see on TV. And when I say tip of the iceberg, if what she does on a day-to-day basis, hour to hour to hour, is anything like her performance here publicly, then you have a very good public servant and very good servant of council. Given that, I was wondering, since things are running in both Gateway and Monroeville, I'm not going to ask the question about the superintendent. I could go to the school board meeting for that. I was wondering, when are we going to see a permanent municipal manager so that poor Lynette, who's doing double duty, can go back to single duty?
As you're aware, have a search committee. We've been working long and hard. I mean, I think that's a goal of everyone here on council. I don't really want to speak for everybody. However, I believe everyone's goal is to hire a effective, efficient municipal manager, but do it in the quickest way, but not obviously taken back from the time we need to spend on it. I personally have spent a lot of hours as part of the committee looking at resumes and we did phone interviews, and we presented to all of council in-person interviews. We've completed those, and we had discussion, as I said at the beginning, we had executive sessions. Those were all the ones that we all met for to discuss the manager. We were, was what I thought, pretty much close to a decision, and I'm sure we've talked about rumor mills. We came to a stalemate at one point, because I don't know if our chair wishes to take over, if you want to correct me if I'm wrong, Vern. But our chair of the manager search committee desired to have a new manager come in with a full support of council.
Okay.
Being, for them, and, hard enough to come into the position, but full support. That was his desire.
And I think, I mean, what we've done is we've had we've had interviews. Most of these executive sessions were interview series periods where we interviewed candidates. And at this point where we're at is we've gotten a small number of candidates that we're in discussion, and at some point, either through a special meeting this month or possibly at the next council meeting next month, because there's an advertising period that is involved, we will hopefully be in a position to make an official announcement. Right now, we have no official anything, because, as you know from having served, we can't make any decisions outside of these chambers.
I understand, of course.
We had a few hiccups.
So,
or
and
roadblocks
that's where we're at right now. We have a small set of candidates, and council members are discussing it amongst themselves.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because, we had a previous speaker who talked with respect to a different subject about rumors that were flying around, and certainly there have been a plethora of rumors about this situation and deals, and this Councilman
I'll
Glenn.
gladly address that. I mean,
Oh,
I
okay.
actually am your council rep, so I don't really mind. You're asking the question, I would.
Maybe you should complete the question.
Okay, yeah. There have been all sorts of, rumors of a nefarious nature that have flown about the municipality concerning the process and deals and vote trade and so forth. And I know that's part of politics, having been essentially a predecessor of all of you for some time, as well as over at the school district. So I know how that works, but it seemed, at least at the rumor stage, and when you hear different rumors, and they all have a common string, and you want to discount rumors as much as possible, when they all have a common string that ties them together, and this common string seems to go to a common foundation, you begin to think that there may be more than a grain of truth that backs the rumor. So I was wondering if that could get clarified.
Well, what I would tell you is that the only time that I know of a forum of council where there's been any discussions have been these executive sessions. No decisions were made. Have there been individual discussions with people? Absolutely. Have I talked to people about their thoughts on the candidates? Absolutely. Have other members of council talked amongst each other? I'm sure they have. If there are any, and as you know, individually, we are allowed to speak to one another. There has been no quorum where we have said, this is who we're going to do anything for. This is what our decision is. So I don't know what else to tell you beyond that.
Okay.
I'm going to address what I know. Like I said, I think everyone would like to see this process facilitated for the municipality. However, when we came to pretty much close to what we thought was close to a decision of, narrowing the candidates down to a few, we reached a stalemate because, like I said, the chair's desire was to have a unanimous vote for the new manager, for them, to come into a full-fledged working council together for the manager. At that point, certain council members made a proposal with regards to doing it in that way, that dealt with the current interim manager and their removal effective immediately for them to do that. So that was, just so you know, that was declined. We're moving ahead, and hopefully that's over, and hopefully we have an executive session today, and hopefully that's all behind us, and we do what's best for the municipality and get an interim manager effective immediately.
Was that a removal from the position as interim manager to return her to her position as the executive assistant of the municipality?
I don't know. It was to remove the interim manager from their position of interim manager effective immediately.
Okay,
It
because
didn't go beyond that.
what I had heard, and again, I don't like rumors. I'm an engineer. I deal in facts. I sometimes play at law, as was mentioned last meeting, because law is filled with facts and theories, much the way engineering is. But I've also been in your position, and I've had to deal with situations where there were rumors, where there were deals or proposed deals. And what I heard, I used the word nefarious before, one of the things I had heard was that Mrs. McKinney was essentially a pawn, if not a sacrificial lamb, that the price for this unity was that not only would she be removed as interim manager, but she would be removed from her position as an employee of the municipality, which I would have found
Now,
horrible.
I have to stop you here. This is a rumor, and are we going to address rumors?
Well, he asked a question, I'm asking for my part from what I know about it, and, you're out of order right now, Mr. Duncan.
Well, either the deal was about to be struck or it wasn't about
The
to be
only
struck. And
part-
if it's an empty rumor, then it should be
The
said
only
as
part,
such.
the only part of what was of the position.
The
And that was,
position.
that was to me, myself, addressed, so I can state that. I can't state anything else beyond that. It was declined immediately. So, and again, we've had through, reports of officials, we've had certain people address the way things happen. And this is something I have to personally say, I like how it happened.
Okay.
So, any person, you can address it with your council person, however if you wish to do that with them or not. But we're moving on to find a manager, and hopefully we will all come together on a decision and move in that direction.
Good, good. I'm encouraged to hear that, and it would be wonderful to see a 7-0 vote the way I was part of a 9-0 vote, actually an 8-0 vote on a superintendent. There was not unanimity because one of the members of the board was absent. But if the price of unanimity is what I heard, then I would say that that is a price too high to pay, and a 4-3 vote or a 5-2 vote would be perfectly acceptable to this citizen. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Robert Serafini.
Hi, my name is Robert Serafini. I live at 4929 Point Circle Drive. We are here all about the trees tonight, and since it has been declared what was going on, and we have to talk to the Planning Commission, which I understand is Wednesday, the 16th at 7:30?
Yes, it is. It's May 16th.
May 16th, rather, I'm sorry, May 16th, 7:30. I am going to contact them, as well as you, and extend an invitation. I live at 4929 Point Circle Drive. Ms. Allison has my phone number. Mr. Yugas has my phone number. To grant these waivers on the soil, I think without seeing it for yourself is bad. I mean, relying on someone else's. So I'm extending an invitation. Call me, come over and see me at my house. I will take you and show you exactly what we're talking about. And I think making an excellent decision like that, you know, if you're against me, you're against me. But I think once you see this, I think you'll believe in what we're saying. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we're out of here, Oak Point Circle.
Not quite.
Is there
May I-
another list from, or is there?
May I speak?
Yeah, would you mind handing me that list, please? Is there a list?
Sure.
And you're Mr. Greco, correct?
Since we were told that there was going to be a meeting on May 8th, and a council meeting, a lot of the people watching this are going to think it's May 8th. But instead, we have to have the May 16th planning meeting. And I just wanted to be able to say that on air so some of the people will get it, because it's hard to get information out that fast.
Deputy Mayor,
Yes.
if I may, I will be sending another public hearing notice out to all the residents that I have already done. It'll be posted as it was before, so everybody that received a letter for Planning Commission and Council will receive another letter for the Planning Commission meeting. As well, it'll be publicly posted.
Am I to understand that this was handled improperly then? Or-
Mr. Dice?
Good.
Would you like to respond?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And just to clarify, it wasn't
And I'm
the fact that-
referring to the fact that we were told that there was going to be a May 8th meeting that we were to come to.
Council's May 8th meeting.
Yeah.
We're going over our agenda, and it's going to be removed. There will be no items regarding Point Circle we will be voting on May 8th in this council chamber. Is that correct, Mr. Dice?
It'll be removed tonight.
It'll be removed tonight. It will not be on our agenda for May 8th.
Okay. And am I to understand on May 16th that we'll be able to speak pertaining to this issue?
They have a portion of the
Yes, there'll
planning
be a
commission
public
meeting?
hearing at the Planning Commission meeting on May 16th.
Ms. Deputy Mayor, can you make clear, they can speak tonight, it's just that
I thought I was attempting to do that. but-
Okay.
In fact, he spoke already.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah.
Just to clarify,
You-
yes, you may.
Yeah, they will have a public hearing. They will allow you to speak at the planning commission, and anyone here, it's citizens night, you can come and talk about anything you want.
Okay.
If you'd like to, anyone would like to speak of it, feel free, but it will not be an agenda item for us once we remove it. And we will not be voting on anything with regards to it on Tuesday, May 8th.
Okay, they did post some signs for May 8th. Okay.
It's on our agenda as of right now, but when we go through this, we're removing it.
No, I mean, they posted them on the streets,
Okay.
okay?
They'll change them.
they're going to get changed.
And that's what Mr.
Okay.
Hugus was
And-
explaining. He would follow up with that.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that. And can I ask why they haven't posted those all through the area? Just on certain streets?
Isn't it, that was a mistake more so than anything else, the way it came out. I don't think the planning commission was trying to give it to us any other way than it did that would make it where it wasn't available or wasn't good for us to use. So it's going to be okay, and we're trying to fix it as we go.
Okay.
Okay, so we're not trying to duck you or anything on this.
Paul, do you know where it was posted?
Absolutely. It was posted in the vicinity of Point Circle Drive, Lawley, Burt, Havers Creek.